My consent. I'm going to be eating these almonds while you do that because I haven't had breakfast or lunch.
On this episode of Celebrity+One, social media and sliding into those DMs, part 2. I sit down with another longtime friend, comedian and host of the GigglePuss Gang on Twitch, Justice Blaine Wainwright, as we delve deep into the celebrity/social media complexities. So sit back, crank up the volume, and enjoy social media and sliding into those DMs, part 2. This episode contains adult language and themes. Please take care while listening.
What are you up to? How's the Twitch?
It's exhausting, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of work, nonstop work on top of my day job, on top of the fact that we're still renovating and living in a city that's slowly succumbing to the downfalls of the American empire. It's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy it. I hardly wake up with stress.
That's good.
And I've become a pathological liar. So I've never dated anyone famous. I have had many interactions with famous people and been hit on by famous people through various apps, but never dated. So this example would be like on an app, Scruff to be precise. You will get male celebrities on there who won't have a picture, and then they will message you, and a lot of them play these games where they won't tell you who they are or send a picture of who they are, but something in their profile will make me think maybe they're just new to being out of the closet and they're not comfortable. You know, I shouldn't assume they're creeps. Maybe they're just not there yet. In terms of like famous, though, I think probably the most well-known individual was on a TV show in the 90s. Very, very nice, very socially awkward. It was a fun experience talking to this person, but I don't know. To me, it does feel like you have to really walk that fine line if you are somebody famous or semi-famous who is on a dating app meeting with somebody, because you almost have to overcome that concept of, you're famous and rich. Why are you talking to me?
Like, how do you know that that's really who they say they are?
I make them take a picture holding up something that says their name, which can be photoshopped. You know, so there have definitely probably been times where I've been lied to. Like I said, it's happened 2 or 3 times. All the other times are conversations where I felt it was a lie or it was someone playing a game, so I stopped talking. Who knows? Maybe, you know, it actually was who they say they were. I don't know. People are not usually that great at Photoshop. The first experience, we talked for a few hours over, I want to say at the time it was Grindr or Scruff, I think. I mean, I don't use Grindr very much because I'm not 15 pounds. And it seems to be only very skinny twinks on there. And a lot of meth for some reason. So it was probably Scruff. Very friendly, very nice. It was a great conversation. We talked for a while. And at this point, I didn't really know who he was or what show he had been on, because I didn't see a face picture. It was all torso. And it was just hints along the lines of, I was on TV a lot in the 90s. You would recognize me. You know, I'm not necessarily in the closet, but I'm not really open about being gay. And so there were a lot of things there that seemed like red flags to me of outs for a person who was trolling to not have to send pictures or something. So I just went along with it. I just thought, fine, you want to troll me? I'm unemployed and I have depression, so I will wear you out, my friend. I will go on with this. And then at some point, he said something along the lines of, I'm surprised you haven't asked me for a picture of myself or anything, because by this point, everybody does. And I said, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I don't really know if you are who you say you are. And if you are, that's great. And if you're not, you could just give me any random picture. But in my experience, the first thing that popped in my head would be, if this is who you say it is, why are you on here? You know, surely you could find somebody to go on a date with or hook up with and not have to do this, you know? For the first 2 or 3 conversations we had, legitimately, I did not think it was him. And then at some point, he sent a picture of himself. I want to say it was in his living room with a sign that had my username on it. And I zoomed in on it in Photoshop because I know Photoshop so well. And I was like, I don't see any JPEG artifacts. There's no blurring. There's no pixel blending. This could be real. The light's hitting it the right way. So, yeah. And there have been very few times, maybe 2 or 3 in the last 6 or 7 years, where male celebrities will be on there, and then you'll find out about 30 minutes into the conversation, where they always start the conversation off very polite and friendly because they realize, I can't show you my picture, I can't tell you who I am, so I have to get you to keep talking to me by being appealing. So it's like they're peacocking, and they're like, how are you? Yeah, I love your picture, this was really interesting. So there's always that, you could feel they're acting. They're playing the character of someone who's interested in you because they want you to continue talking until they're comfortable enough to tell you who they are. And if you get to that point, they will usually, in my experience, turn the conversation towards, what do you do for a living? You know, you think they'd want to avoid it, but they're always there like, I want to use this trump card that I'm somebody, you know, famous or rich or well-known, or I'm an influencer. And then, you know, the conversation kind of just goes towards work. And then at some point, usually I would respond with, oh yeah, this is what I do. What do you do for? Oh, you know, I work in entertainment. Okay. Well, that's pretty broad. Yeah, in front of the camera. Oh, okay, so you're an actor. Yeah, more or less. That's cool. And then there's always this weird pause where they want you to ask, what have they done? And I don't want to ask that because I'm like, what is this? I don't care that you're an actor. This does nothing for me. I don't find it appealing, whatever. And then whoever makes the move of what have you done, that's usually when you will find something along the lines of, oh, I've definitely been in something you've seen, or you've seen my billboard around town, or, you know, if they're an influencer, oh, here are some of the videos I did that went viral. And you're just sitting there thinking, I'm sure this works on people, but this does nothing. And most of the time they are in the closet, or there are rumors, you know, no one's ever hit on me that I have not heard from other people in the community that were gay or bisexual or curious. It's never like, oh my God, Jerry Seinfeld, you know, like that never happens. I've never been surprised.
Were you the one to say, yeah, I'm not that guy. Sorry, it was great talking to you. Or did it just go?
It's about as specific as I want to be, because this person has also dealt with a lot of online bullying, and I don't want to be involved in anything where gossip is started, you know. Honestly, it usually turns sexual once they reveal who they are, or they hint about who they are. It's, so you're pretty attractive, or I'm really into couples. You guys are both really cute, or I've never been with a guy, let alone 2 guys. And there's always a lot of assumptions that 1, I'm interested in you, that 2, my partner's going to be, or my husband's going to be interested in you. You know, like it's a lot of just, now that I've told you who I am, I've offered you this, you know, most people get a goat with a couple.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. But me, I've got 10 goats and a card. It's okay. Well, that's great, but that doesn't mean anything to me. But they will make a lot of assumptions, and just they're very confident. Like, well, I've given you the reveal now, and now I'm curious about getting a blowjob, and I want to know. And you'd be so lucky to blow me. I've been on television, and I'm just sitting there in my mind thinking, this has to work for people because it's clearly something that has happened before, but it just does nothing to interest me or to titillate, make my brain go burr. You know, I'm not interested whatsoever in that kind of relationship. And so I will just either stop responding or just laugh back. Oh yeah, a gift even. Thanks for the head, you know, like letting them know that, hey, this is kind of reaction wise where I fall on this in terms of whether or not this is working for me.
How did that conversation end?
I never met up with him. Once I found out who it was, I don't know, I just didn't. Whatever interest I did have, which was really not very much, I was not single at the time, and I was just chatting with people. I didn't really want to meet anybody, and I definitely didn't want to meet anybody who has baggage attached to them, I guess would be the best way to put it. I want to say we probably chatted for 2 or 3 weeks, easily. So that was the best out of all of them, or at least the longest. Yeah. I do believe a few years later when I got on Scruff, there was a message from him he had sent quite a bit after we last talked, months and months, if not longer. And I missed it because I wasn't on the app. I had not installed the app for quite a long time. So by the time I saw it, it had been 2 or 3 years. since he had responded last, and I just read it.
I hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you in a while. Hit me up if you're bored.
And that was the extent of it. I never just figured I would write back, Although if it was a troll, that's a dedication, That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Props to that person. Yeah, there have been a few, but if we're also not counting porn stars, which are probably big in the gay world, some of them are going to be less noted. The remaining ones were,
I had a really popular viral video or a cartoon series on YouTube that everyone quotes and it's meme worthy, and I created all of that.
Or comedians doing like stand-up sets who were married and straight presenting, but then it was different, I guess, after they had performed and they had been drunk. And that's usually when they would get on the apps. A lot of straight male celebrities are very much at least bisexual or bi-curious. And that's a big thing. It's like, who taught you how to kiss? This isn't how you kiss. You're sticking your tongue in it. It's awful. And no one's told you. Like, you've created a persona in which people are uncomfortable to tell you,
hey, not a personal attack, but this doesn't work for me. Let's change. No one's been able to tell you that.
That lets me know a lot about you as a person. And honestly, that's where it stops for me. It's just always this feeling of, maybe when I was 25, the idea of having, meeting up or having sex with this really attractive man who's been on, who's at least a B-list celebrity. That's cool. Nah, as I got older, I just don't care about that stuff anymore. You could definitely get in my pants if you're sly and clever, but most of the time, it's not. It's just,
I'm horny right now and you're relatively attractive. So let me do you a favor by letting me have sex with you.
They get treated like these glass objects or, collectibles for so long. They just want someone who's going to be upfront and honest with them and maybe not even care about all the bullshit, all the fame and all the sex symbol. They just want a human being that sees them as a human being. I think the truth is we are all looking for somebody. We're all looking for companion. We all need it. We're social creatures. I think that anybody who isn't depressed these days or having some kind of anxiety or mental stress is probably a sociopath. Everything happening in the world, everything that's constantly going on. We're connected 24 hours a day. It's just media, ads. We're all struggling to get by and survive. So I think that those who are at higher positions socially in our society are not immune to those things. They are still affected by them. It's just that we've all convinced ourselves that life would be much better if we had fame and wealth and, access to endless amounts of money or connections. And the reality is probably more that life would be easier, but it wouldn't necessarily be easy. It might take longer for those social stresses to reach up to you past all those privileges, but you're still going to experience them at some point. So I think all of these people, just like us, are just looking for connections or looking for people. And then you also have to consider that we live in a society where so many celebrities are deified and treated like icons and gods, and everything is about building empire and being the queen of this and the king of that. And it's worded in a way that I think scratches something in our little primitive brains that makes us want to acknowledge social status so we can say, oh, they're better than me, they're higher than me. If they're talking to me, something's wrong with them. Because why would they talk to me? Because I'm not on that level, therefore I'm undeserving. And I think that is more of a self-projection onto other people than a projection that most famous individuals would experience. I do believe if they were to experience something, it wouldn't be looking down upon you. It would be, I am surrounded by people whose relationships with me are often disingenuous and I want something genuine. And there is a chance that even though I am well known, you might be someone in the regular populace who doesn't know me or doesn't care about me, and you will be genuine with me, even if it's not flaunting and flattering. I don't have anything that I can provide for you, so they're looking for a level in which I think they might be more equitable with each other, and they're trying to escape what they've been surrounded in for most of their professional career.
Do you think the whole social media thing opens a door for them to explore a little bit better now?
I just think it's convenience. honestly. You have something in your pocket that you can pull out and click on, and all I have to do is sit there and say, oh, I'm horny, I want to have sex with a man, but I'm married, so I got to do it discreetly. And then, oh, I don't have to put a picture of myself. I mean, it's just very, very simple. And I think honestly it's a good thing. I think a lot more people who have been afraid to express their sexual desires or thoughts, or maybe come to terms with their sexuality, now have the opportunity to do so. It's unfortunate that it does come at the cost of, usually at this point, married individuals or people who are spending a lot of the time presenting as straight and trying to mask that and all of that. But I mean, is it a net gain? I think probably. You get people who are able to come to terms with things that they're struggling with that they wouldn't have been able to do so before. Even just having conversation, let's say you are a married straight man and you're curious about what it is or isn't to be gay, then you can just talk to somebody. It doesn't have to lead to sex. It doesn't even have to lead to meeting up. It can just be, what's your perspective on life and why did you get here and that kind of thing. So I think it's good. I think it's good. It's easy though sometimes when people become numbers, maybe, and that might be an issue, I guess, that everybody deals with, not just celebrities, but just running through people. And then you get a we'll say a reputation in the gay community where so and so will say, oh, did you know that so and so is gay? Yeah, anyways, did you see his show? Like we all tend to know who's on the down low in Hollywood, and you hear about it once or twice and you ignore it. But when everyone's coming to you and saying the same thing, it does seem common.
So that's just like, it's a small pool in a sense, but not.
Yeah. They just go through people so fast, I think, especially if they're more toxic or more on the down low and more weird and cagey and full of anxiety about what they're about to do. But at the same time, they're trying to keep this presentation of this buff, macho man, because that's who they play on TV. And it's just this weird dichotomy, I think, when they're aware of their persona that everyone sees, but at the same time, they cannot fake being somebody they're not. And so both of those kind of compete, and then you get really weird, dodgy messages, or just that intuition goes off that there's something that's off here that's uncomfortable. And then that energy tends to be most interactions. And then, if you talk to your friends and they talk to their friends, and everybody goes around saying, oh, Bob Smith from that TV show he's a weirdo, and he's just going to ask for dick pics right away and then stop talking to you once he gets them.
They quoted Ana de Armas saying the mystique of the celebrity is gone because of social media.
I think it's still there, mostly because the average person is not genuine or true when they're online. We are creating false images and mirages for other people so that from the outside we look more appealing or palatable to whoever's viewing us. And so you may not have any mystery left about who, Ellen DeGeneres is as a celebrity, because Ellen DeGeneres as a celebrity is, let's say she's on social media all the time, posting every day, every opinion, every thought. Yes, so there's no mystery left to who Ellen the celebrity is, but there's endless mystery left to who Ellen the person is, because as we all know from everything that happened with Ellen, the majority of us didn't know who Ellen really was, and real Ellen was much different than fake Ellen. And so I think things would be a lot better for us when we are interacting with each other if we were encouraged to be more genuine and honest online, because it creates this situation where we're all lying to each other. But a lot of celebrities, I think, buy into that, that there's that protection there. Ellen was protected for a very long time, even though she was very toxic, because she had spent so much time and goodwill building up this exterior of who she was. So I think it probably depends on the person who's looking for interactions online, whether or not they're going to be, genuine, or they're going to be shady, I suppose, which I think there is a nice mix of, and everything in between.
Variety app. It is a quote unquote celebrity dating site that you have to have a certain amount of followers to fill out an application. Like, I think you have to have like 5,000 to 10,000 followers. You fill out the app, and then if they accept you, it's kind of like a Match.com thing.
I actually heard of that app for the first time today on a TikTok video.
What did they say? What was?
Oh,
what
they were
was
just making fun of it.
Oh.
It was kind of like along the line of how sad that people want to meet famous people to validate themselves on a website. And I thought, oh, that's fair. It's totally fair. Yeah, okay. It's like Farmers Only, but for
Rich, famous people.
Yeah, famous people and coattail writers.
What's up with WhatsApp? Every actor has it. Everyone freaking uses it. Every actor that has hit on me, and there's been 3. Lucky me.
Yeah.
They're like, you have WhatsApp? I'm like, why do I need
because
that?
it's encrypted. So you can't save your messages and show them to people. They're encrypted. You can't screen share. You can't do anything. You can take a picture with your phone, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways around it, but a lot of people feel like it's safe. So they send inappropriate messages on there. I don't use it myself.
Right. And I just thought that was just like, what? It's every time. Do you have WhatsApp? Do you want to use that? I'm like, what the hell?
That's code for dick pics, usually. When people ask me, I just tell them, I'm not interested in seeing your genitalia, but thank you. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Sometimes it's a lie. Sometimes I do want to see it, but I won't put WhatsApp on my phone.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to have to download this app for you. I don't care who you are. All right, I'm going to let you go. And I thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll keep in touch. I'll probably watch you on Twitch or something.
I'll be there, as always.
Me saying comments that no one cares about.
That's all Twitch, though. Don't worry about that. You're doing Twitch right. Don't even worry about it.
Thank you to Justice for chatting with me on this episode. Not only did it provide a deeper look and understanding into the overall human condition, but it also shed light on the fact that people of status in the public eye face the same issues as us non-industry folks. There's that added layer of complexity needing to be careful about who they confide in and how well they will be perceived. So in my own opinion on what I gathered from doing this episode and episode 2 is social media has provided kind of an even playing field for celebrities. It gives them somewhat of a safe space to test the waters on meeting non-industry people. So I think I'm starting to gather more of the idea on how hard it can be for people of status to meet normal people they may be interested in. But I would really love to hear what your opinions are. Head to the poll linked on the show notes for this episode. Also, if you're enjoying the podcast so far, please leave us a review. It'll help others who will enjoy this show find us easily. You can follow Justice and his husband on Twitch at the GigglePuss Gang. And I promise you, there's never a dull moment when you join. Coming up on the next episode of Celebrity+One, we chat with remarkable and oh-so-relatable celebrity matchmaker Alessandra Conti of Matchmakers in the City. We get an inside look on what a celebrity matchmaker is, her thriving business, and what type of VIP clientele she deals with. You don't want to miss this insider scoop for episode 4. Celebrity+One was produced and written by me, DeAnna Callie. Sound production and editing by Sam Fellman. You can help me get closer to interviewing these regular Janes and Joes and celebrities mentioned when you share, review, and subscribe to Celebrity+One wherever you get your podcasts. Do you have an experience with dating a celebrity, have been on Raya the app, or are on Raya the app and uncomfortable with sharing your experience? You can go to www.celebrityplus1.com and click the contact tab to get in touch. And remember, we always protect the privacy of those who want to share their stories. That's celebrityplus1.com. Hope to chat with you soon.